This is weird.
Jen motherfucking Dent, president. Jen motherfucking Dent, president. Jen motherfucking Dent, president. Jen motherfucking Dent, president.
Hello, Poppets. How's everybody doing today? I hope you're doing well. This is my sister Jessica and my mom.
Hi, baby ducklings.
And this video is all about my sister, who is 5 years younger than me. And we're going to talk about all of the crazy things she did as a child.
Do we have time? We got that kind of time?
Okay, first of all, we're going to talk about what she eats. What do you eat?
Chicken. I love pizza.
My sister's 38 years old and she's never had a hamburger in her entire life. Tell them what.
Or a hot dog.
Or a hot dog.
Well, the hot dog is kind of a lie. I had a bite of a hot dog at, what's her name? My second grade teacher, Ms. Gosnell.
Oh, Miss, yeah.
Anyway, I flushed it down the toilet after the first bite, so.
The whole thing?
Yes, I was so afraid it was going to clog the toilet, but it went.
You flushed the bun too?
The hot dog, yeah, the whole thing. I just took it inside.
Why?
I was afraid I was going to get in trouble if I didn't like it. I was a strange child.
She was a strange.
So my sister caused a lot of turmoil when she was a child because she was
She was awful. She was horrible.
Yeah, you
I
were.
was a saint.
Yes,
No, you were bad.
She was bad.
Tell them some things she did when she was little.
Oh
And
my
Wolfie has to be in the video because my mom's here, and even if we try to lock her out of the room, she'll scream at the door. So
I mean,
That was
even when
perfect.
she was just an infant laying in a little seat, she was like, what can I do with my hands to fuck up something? Well, no, that's really what she was like.
I was a saint.
no.
I never cried.
no,
I never did
no.
anything.
Boy, that's a lot.
She ruined everything we tried to ever go to, or up until you went to Miss
What, like until I was
Mitchell's
like 5?
and had to sit on the sofa. I don't
like
know.
4 or
You
5?
were bad. We couldn't take you anywhere.
No, we really couldn't.
I mean,
Your
I
daddy
only really
quit.
remember
Your
going.
daddy quit going anywhere with us. He refused to go anywhere with us.
Why was that though?
She was just naughty. She was.
Well, she used to
Not
try
much
to
has
crawl out
changed.
of her crib.
Yeah. I honestly think she was straddling the bars on the crib one day when I went in the room. And you got on top of the refrigerator one time when you were very little.
How did she do that?
I don't know, but she'd pull drawers out and make steps.
I remember my mom just sitting in the floor and like rocking back and forth and crying. because
Oh, hell
Jessica
yeah,
was
I
so
thought
bad.
I was going to an institution for sure. Actually, I would
You were
have
bad.
I would have volunteered to go to an
She wouldn't eat anything. There was like such a problem with her eating that she literally would not shit. Do you remember that?
she started getting an atonic colon. Look, Google that.
Tell them what that is because they're not going to know.
Okay, it means that your colon normally has a lot of motility, a lot of motion, 24/7, moving the food and all that. Well, when it's atonic, it just kind of goes to sleep and doesn't do what it should, so you just basically fill up with
That was full of shit.
Because she didn't eat.
because she didn't eat, and so the doctor finally said, you're going to have to make her eat. She's going to have to eat some vegetables, and she's going to have to eat regular food.
So tell them about that.
Oh, that was fun. I made hamburger steak, and we had mashed potatoes
Still remember that.
and green beans. So we were at the table. I would fix just a teeny little bit of each thing, and we'd put it in front of her, and she would we'd make her take a bite of something, and she'd go, woo, and she'd throw up on the plate. We'd move the plate. We'd get a clean plate.
Yeah, it was like a stack of plates inside.
We'd put a little bit, and I only put a little bit. I wasn't expecting her to eat a lot. Little bit, and she'd take a bite, and it was like all over the doggone, whatever, on the plate again. Well, I mean, actually, it turned out that you did like hamburger steak. You do like hamburger
I
steak.
haven't had hamburger steak since like 85.
But let's talk about the times we went to the emergency room.
Oh, let's talk about the time.
I don't really remember those times.
Okay, well I do. The first time, she decided that biting into a tube of super glue would be a really good idea. That super glue comes in like this foil tube, or it used to anyway.
Used to.
And
I liked it. It was soft. was squishy.
Oh yeah, she likes soft
Oh yeah,
things.
she likes to bite soft things like car doors.
Not the outside of the car door.
Oh no.
The inside, the door part. But they
squishy-
don't make them like that anymore.
No, she bit the inside of my mom's car door and left teeth marks.
And
It's a
I
brand new
used
car.
to chew
she bit her
dashboard
daddy's dashboard.
of the truck off.
Why?
I don't know. I liked it.
Fucking weird, man.
And I OD'd like 3
She
times
OD'd
before I was like
three times.
3
Well, there
years
was
old.
the super glue, the time you bit into the super glue and we had to go to the emergency room because your teeth were literally glued together. It was the next time that there's that stuff that they put on baby's gum.
No,
Baby numbs it. I
Numbs
OD'd
it.
on
It's
that.
called Numbs It, or
Numbs
it used
It.
to be.
Baby numbs it.
And they would rub it on the baby's gums when they were teething to like numb the gums so that it didn't hurt, and she drank a bottle
I drank
of that.
it.
But you won't eat a fucking hamburger?
Nope.
So that was another time we went to the emergency room, and then there was the time that you drank.
Nail polish remover.
remover.
Why?
I don't know. I don't remember it.
But you won't eat a hamburger.
No.
So there has to be like something in your brain that's like, I'm just gonna do this so I can destroy everyone's
I lost
afternoon.
those when my head was cut open when I was born.
I forgot
That's
about that.
right.
When we were both born C-section,
Right.
and they cut her head open when she was born.
That's what I blame all of.
That's right.
You know, the things I do
evil
on.
spirits entered that.
That's right.
6-inch.
The first time I ever saw her, she had blood just all over her face.
Yeah, I know.
They cut her head open.
I
Do you
wanted
still
to
have a
come
scar? Shit, they cut her bad.
That's the evil spirit's entrance. Her grandmother, Lise, her daddy's mother, kept Jessica, and that she just enabled her. I mean, that was why, one of the reasons she was as horrible as she was. Grandma was just let her do anything she wanted to do.
Yeah.
I was a streaker. I love to run outside naked.
Why?
Nothing much has changed. Nowadays, it's frowned upon.
But her grandma would give her a bath, and she'd be like getting her, toweled off, getting her dry, and before she could finish hanging up the towel, Jessica would be on the Hot Wheels riding down the middle of the street. And
So I wanted to show everyone, back in the day you couldn't get Cabbage Patch Kids because everybody would fight over them. Like back in the 80s when Cabbage Patch Kids first came out, you could not get your hands on one, and there's actually footage of people like trampling each other at different toy stores trying to get Cabbage Patch Kids when they first came out. And I wanted one really, really, really bad, but you couldn't get one. So for Christmas my mom made me this.
I know it's not very attractive, but I put a lot of love
No,
into
I loved
that
it.
face.
I thought this was the shit.
Look at its eyes. They're
even-
painted on.
Yeah, she did a good job. She even signed its ass, just like the dude that makes Cabbage
I
Patch
did, let me
Kids
see it.
signed their asses.
Aw.
So, but then you could find Cabbage Patch Kids, of course, when my sister got a little bit older. We live in a small town, so finally they got some Cabbage Patch dolls at the store here in town, and this is the one that my
At
sister got.
Roses, the famous Roses department store.
This is John Aiden.
John Aiden.
Okay, and my sister loved this doll.
Oh.
So she was really excited about the Cabbage Patch doll.
Who wouldn't be?
A lot of people were not.
I loved him.
I
took him
didn't think,
everywhere.
I didn't think anything of it. The church
In my
we went
pillow?
to was kind of, it was definitely Southern, very Southern. And in my Sunday school class, one of the ladies kind of leaned over to me and whispered and said, don't let her take that doll into church because it'll upset some of the elderly people. I'm like, you gotta be kidding me.
You
It's
racist
a doll.
bastards.
Yeah, so they had like regular church, but then like in church they would have like a 5 to 10 minute session for kids, and they'd bring all the kids in from the nursery and sit them down, and the preacher would be like, Jesus loves you and stuff. As the kids walk in, because they parade them in, and they're like, when they saw John Aiden in church. So we were frowned upon for that. But then she also has another doll. I want you to explain this situation. Backstory, everyone that probably followed me on Vine, if you did, you know that I had braces several years ago, 2 years ago?
Yeah.
And that was my second time having braces, and I got that lovely trait from my mother. We both had to have braces twice, and she ended up having to have her jaws actually broken and wired back together to like set her jaw so that she quit having really bad migraines all the time and stuff. So she was in the hospital to get her jaws broken Go ahead.
And so we go to pick her up, and the first thing me and Jennifer think to ask is, "Hey, did you get us a present?" We just pick her
Such
up from the
lovely-
hospital.
lovely children.
"Hey, Mom, did you get us a present?"
And I can't talk. I
she
can't
did.
talk, by the way.
She got them before she went.
This was called a sprout baby, and it would lay in a blanket, and then you would like, oh, so cute.
No, that
Isn't it cute?
So, you know, she had to buy us
Done.
something because she was in the hospital. Also, tell them about when you came home from the hospital, how that went.
We were so mean
Yeah,
to
they were.
you.
I had my jealous wire shot, and I had splints inside, so I really couldn't talk.
Couldn't eat.
No, I only
You had to- you had to-
thin liquids. I could
We
like
had to blend everything.
Suck through a straw.
I couldn't even eat blended food. I basically had liquids. That's all. And I couldn't talk, and so you girls were just so kind to me.
She was determined she was going back to work. They told her, they were like, you need to stay home for what, like 8 weeks?
Something like that.
They were like, you need to stay home for like 8 weeks.
I'm like, we're poor.
You're not going to be able to talk. You're not going to be able to work. You're not going to be able to eat. And she's like, no, I'm going to work. And she sat with the newspaper and learned, trying to read a newspaper. And we, you know, we were so nice.
With a tissue because she was drooling.
They could understand me a lot of times, but
We
they
acted
would
like we couldn't.
pretend they couldn't.
She did try to go back to work.
I did.
And I remember she came home crying. Like,
I mean, I worked in the intensive care unit, you know, taking care one-on-one with patients, so it just didn't work well.
yeah, she came home crying like 2 hours into her shift, and she was like, no one could understand a word I was saying, so I had to come home. So how would you say we differ?
I'm very introverted with a lot of the stuff I do, whereas she has no filter ever. My filter goes away after I've drank a whole lot, but that takes a lot, whereas she can just wake up bright and early. The filter's gone.
Is that bad though?
No, I wish I had gotten just some of that. I mean, I'm very kind of reserved.
Yeah, I don't have what Jennifer and her dad
I want
had
that bad
with,
ass.
with that badass
Is that
attitude.
right? Bad
I'm a bitch, though.
assness? No, but
Everybody
being
hates
a,
me.
They don't hate you. They just
Oh,
want-
they do.
Oh well.
haters gonna hate.
So ducklings, don't forget to wish me a happy birthday on September 27th.
I hope you all enjoyed this rambling damn fucking ass video. The two of these crazy people and Wolfie.
Goodbye, puppets.
Say bye.
You're racist.
You're a racist.
So I hope everybody enjoyed this video. Please give it a thumbs up. I do videos every Tuesday and Saturday, and I'm gonna start trying to do them more than that. I can't promise you anything though.
No, don't promise anything.
Please subscribe to my channel if you haven't already, and if you have, thank you so much. I hope you have a great day. I'll see you next time. Bye.
Bye.
and he dropped it in the driveway,
Oh yeah, that's a good. Yeah, I mean, that's a good reason. It's like fuck.
and he said motherfucker, and I came in the house and asked you what did mama fuck mean.